Hello, welcome to another edition of Hobby News Daily. I'm still Danny Black, and today I'm joined by Mike-JWH here. That's the JWH. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, Danny. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
Yes, well, this is part of our newly negotiated biannual, quarterly, twice a week, once a quarter, something, once a score. I think you said uh,
I'm not even sure what a score is.
four score and 20, and 7 years ago.
Yeah, 20
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, what are you up to? You getting ready for Cleveland? Obviously.
Yeah, I'm excited for Cleveland. Yeah, getting uh, kind of planning what I'm going to buy, sort of, although there are literally hundreds of targets. So just kind of making sure I know what price points I'm looking at.
The tagline for the Nationals should be within your budget. They have it. It's just what's within your budget.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, it's never, to the people who go there and are looking for things that are so obscure you can't find. God bless you. I love that. I want to hear, but for the most of us, it's a budget issue.
Yep.
If you had no budget, what's on your target list?
If I had no budget,
Within reason, like what are you looking to get?
uh, oh, um, A 41 play ball Ted Williams is at the high end of my budget, like a low grade 41 play ball Ted Williams.
Okay, that's a great. I mean, aesthetically, to each their own on that set, but it's an important card.
It, in my opinion, it's the best of the play balls. 41 has color. It's better.
It does. Do you like the watercolor look?
Yeah, I do. It's no 48, 49 Leaf, but I enjoy 41.
Okay.
And I don't like Ted Williams 39. It's just
Well,
this weird pose. He's like twisted in a corkscrew.
well, that was my next question is how much of this is a homer pick? For those who don't know, Mike dominates the New England area. He's holds several government positions. Um, Ted Williams, are you going for the run?
Yeah, long term. I mean,
I've seen this creeping in slowly.
you can see, I don't know if you can. Yeah, so here's the 55. I have most of his 50s
Yeah.
cards. Um, sorry, I said 55. That's his 56. I've got his 55 too, and I just pulled it down and replaced it with the 56, hence the confusion. Um, yeah, I would like to have the run, but his earlier cards are tough.
For those of you who don't know or have not watched, you have a very successful YouTube channel at Junkwax Hero, not to be confused with anything else. So spell it correctly, people. It will be in the show notes. Uh, how do you balance your responsibilities to your channel from your personal enjoyment of the national to hanging out with friends? How do you kind of in your mind want to slice up that pie?
Well, I don't think I have any channel responsibilities. The channel is something that I do for fun. It's something I enjoy.
Okay.
And if I see something that I find interesting that I think others might find interesting, then I record. Oh, I almost had a sneeze, just a very, very sudden sneeze. Then I record it and I consider including it in a video. But if I don't find it interesting, like if there's I don't know, think of something stupid like an NFT booth, then
Yes,
I'm not going to record. I might record it and make fun of it. No, I wouldn't really. But
you might.
it's if it's not for me, then I'm not going to talk about it. In most likely, like I'm not going to go to
But let's
Breakers
call it spade
Pavilion.
a spade. It's the national. There's going to be cool stuff. You're going to have to do
Tons of cool
some
stuff.
stuff, right? So you're going to be doing some recording.
Absolutely, I do a lot of recording at the National. And then I will uh, kind of figure out, is there a theme to what I recorded? Is it all high end items in like the heritage booth or whatever? Is it um, is it just unusual things that I saw, and then I'll splice it into a video and kind of talk over the coverage over the video.
I've walked around with you a little bit. I think it was last year, and you definitely don't care what booth it's at if it's cool.
Right. Why would I?
Well, because some people put their nose up at the Heritage or the Golden Booth saying, "Oh, they're always going to have expensive stuff." That doesn't make a Babe Ruth cold shot jersey less cool.
Right. Yeah.
What is it? What do the kids say? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Right.
You know, like
I
I
don't
would
even
I would
really.
enjoy that you would share anything cool.
I'm not even. uh, Oftentimes, when I go back and look at the coverage, the videos that I take, I don't even remember what booth it's in. So it's not like I'm going, check out Heritage's booth. This is amazing. Heritage would need to pay me for that, which I, I don't have any agreements like that. So there would there would need to be something outrageously cool for me to highlight the entire booth and say, check out Heritage booth. And I keep saying Heritage. I'm not sponsored by Heritage, nor have I ever been.
However, if Chris Ivy, Joe Orlando, anybody over there, Mark is listening, he's on social media.
Yeah, I look for things that I find cool, unusual items, really valuable items, and if I'm interested in it, I think my audience will be too.
Okay. There is a dinner for content creators that has become pretty popular. Uh, how many years is this for you going to it?
This is my third year.
Your third year. I've seen it grow. Do you think that mirrors kind of what's happening in hobby YouTube and content creation?
Yeah, I mean, just regular commenters in the last year or so, I would say we've seen at least a dozen of them go from regular commenters into new YouTubers,
Yes,
sports card YouTubers. And that kind of growth begets growth, and that's exciting. Uh,
it
Some of
is.
them, some of them are going to create regular content. Some of them are going to break out, like Midlife Cards. Greg of Midlife Cards has broken out. He has 5,000 some odd subscribers in a short period of time, and I think that's fun. That's exciting.
I think it's awesome anytime good information is getting shared. Um, I think that the similarities in some of the channels that have taken off are the quality of content. I think that's always going to stand tall. The average podcast or YouTube show last, I think it's 12 episodes, something like that. So, it'll be interesting a year from now how many of these channels exist. But to your point, I hope that some do break out,
Yeah.
and a year from now they're saying, "Wow, I've been around for a year and a half now," and they get there.
Yeah.
How many years are you at, by the way?
I hit 3 a week ago. 3 years.
Congratulations!
Thank you. 600 videos.
Wow. So when's the paywall going up?
I no paywall on my YouTube. Can't imagine doing one.
How different is your channel from what you're doing now? And for those of you who haven't watched, or haven't seen you, if you want to give a little description, but how different is what you're doing from what you originally meant to do, thought to do, or how it has evolved into what you really enjoyed doing? Because I know you genuinely enjoy it.
Yeah, so originally when I first envisioned the channel, it was me opening packs of junk wax cards and didn't find a whole lot of passion in that. And so I mean, I love,
Neither did anybody in the junk wax era, by the way.
right. Uh, Really, I mean, I love junk wax era cards, of course. That was my jam as a kid, and I still am drawn to them. But opening the packs just didn't do it for me at the age of, what was I, 42 at the time. And then one of something I've always been as a storyteller, and so my first video was telling the story of a card show I went to, the first card show I'd been to in 30 years, and the uh, Sandy Koufax autograph I found and paid 20 bucks for. And that resonated and it was a blast. It was so much fun and the reaction was great. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just tell stories about cards. And my channel has evolved over the years, but it's still mostly me telling stories about cards.
You are also somebody who follows the news in the hobby.
Yep.
Um, Talk about what about that you enjoy, because I know there's parts of it you don't enjoy at all, you have no interest in, and there's parts that you definitely have an interest in. I see you covering things where maybe a company has done something unexplained that needs further explanation, and you're quick to call out for further explanation. But you seem to stay out of the some of the fray of some of the other channels I'm not going to name, so I don't end up on their show again. Um, but how do you find that line for yourself in your curiosity versus making something seem sensationalist?
That's a good question. I would say that, well, right now, the big thing that's going on is the CT scanner thing, which I'm kind of interested in, but also not remotely interested in talking about it on my channel. Just so I'm not going to force myself to do a video on something that I don't care that much about. And I've watched a couple of videos on it. I watched Neo this morning talking about it, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But do I want to do a video on it? No. They've covered it. They've done a great job with it, and that's that's enough for me. Chasing. Uh, I'm not going to chase views. Put out a video just to chase views if it's not a topic I feel really interested in. Um, Sometimes what I'll do is my Sunday series, clearing the bases. I'll just bring it up and say this happened this week. But I don't, I'm not going to do 8 to 12 minutes on it. I might do 30 to 60 seconds in a recap video of what happened in the past week.
That was exactly where I was going to head with that. I think a lot of stories that you stay away from also are stories that you feel are can be covered pretty quickly and don't need much more added, or there's not a lot of original stuff to add. Um, do you think about how much meat is on the bone? Do you think about a length of a video, or if you're happy with the story and you like the story, whatever it is, and that's good, and that's going to be the length.
Yeah. Well, I don't think about video length. I just think, is this something I can talk about in a video, or is it something maybe I have a newsletter. It's free. You can sign up
Yes,
for it at
it's
Junk Wax
great, by the
Hero.
way.
Thank
So
you.
give the info again. I cut you off.
You can sign up for it at junkwaxhero.com. And sometimes I'll be like, okay, this is interesting, but I'm not going to get a video out of it. I don't see a whole lot of point in doing like a 3 minute video, for instance. And so I'll just put a little blurb in my newsletter about it, or I'll cover it really briefly in my Sunday episode.
What does interest you in the hobby from the non-card side these days? Like, what's going on in the background that actually you're keeping an eye on?
Oh, there's nothing that I keep an eye on. It's
Is
just
it
whatever.
just fanatics at like whatever they may do? I mean, is it just waiting for their next move?
Yeah, Fanatics and PSA, I think, are companies that have their tentacles in everywhere. And there are a lot of channels that are afraid of criticizing them, either because they're sponsored by them. I don't know. I don't have any inside knowledge of sponsorship with them. Um, or that they are hoping to get sponsorship from them, or I don't hoping to get product from them. I don't know. And so I keep an eye on just the things that they're doing, and I think it's important to highlight some of the stuff they're doing. Like my video, my end of week video, which is actually going to be tomorrow this week, Saturday instead of Sunday, will highlight uh, what I think to be likely unintentional, but still shady behavior by Topps' social media team as it relates to Topps Chrome release this week.
Can you give us a sneak preview on your story
It's not a story per se. It's
of,
they
of your opinion on the coverage?
Yeah, I think that they are tweeting out a lot of cards that they're saying this is available in 2024 Topps Chrome that are only available in Breakers Delight boxes. And to me, that's shady. Whether they intend it to be that way or not, they are encouraging people to go out and buy Topps Chrome to get these chases, uh, veteran or retired Hall of Fame autographs, Ken Griffey Jr., Ichiro, etc. And you can't actually get them in blasters, megas, hobbies. They're only available in Breaker Delights.
I'm not even sure people are aware that there's now a Breakers Delight box added to
Yeah,
the SKUs.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that's. I'm not going to use your episode as my soapbox on people being whores in the industry, but you know that those are great cards that should be accessible to everybody.
Yep. Or they should say available in Breakers Delights. Here are the cards. They
But
shouldn't say available in Topps
do you
Chrome.
do you think there should be only be one distribution channel for a type of card?
No.
So that's why I think it should be more than. I'm not a big fan of the jumbo, the HTA first off the line. Like I'm not a big fan of limiting and raising the price of certain boxes. Just make it a hobby box and and a a
Uh,
retail.
no, I don't have a problem with that. I am actually okay with them saying you have a better chance of getting this in Breakers
Really,
Delight. You have a better chance of getting it in a hobby than in a blaster. That's to me, that's perfectly fine. If people know they're gambling,
it
then they're gambling.
just makes the price of the boxes so ridiculous.
It does.
It's about the
Yeah,
children, Mike. Mike, it's about the children,
sure.
and it's about the
I
future.
I don't buy wax, but I would if the prices were significantly lower.
There's my point. It's about the old men. That's what I just said.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Right. It is. It's about us. Um, at the National, because this is going to drop either you're watching this either on Friday or Monday. Actually, you could be watching it whenever it's dropping Friday or Monday. Uh, at the National, you and I are getting together. If
What?
neither, we're going to grab
Says,
lunch.
says who?
It says my calendar. I've explained my calendar.
Yeah.
Um, perfect cafeteria food is
Perfect
like what would
cafeteria.
make you happy if the cafeteria had what?
Man, that is a wild question. I was not prepared for that at all. Last year at the National, they had these terrible, terrible grilled cheese sandwiches, and so hopefully not that. And it was that was like pretty much it, right? Wasn't it just grilled cheese?
There's always a type of pizza.
There was no pizza.
There was no pizza last year.
Oh, why? Who would choose grilled
I
cheese
would
over
never eat
pizza?
those. Yeah, I'm
Um,
not gonna lie. I went back to the hotel to eat.
so, oh man, I don't know. I mean, I
Well,
love
there should be
chicken.
good pizza. I'm gonna answer for
Yes,
me.
pick
There
pizza.
should be good
Yes, you're
pizza.
right. Pizza.
TV show or movie that you're most embarrassed to admit you've never watched.
Um,
The
TV
Wire.
show. No, well, The Wire's top 3 show of all time. Uh, I would say Mad Men. I tried watching Mad Men. I watched like the first 5 or 6 episodes. Just couldn't get into it. Another one is The West Wing, which I watched the first episode of,
Ooh,
and I was like,
don't
"This is crazy."
crazy good or crazy you couldn't watch it.
I couldn't watch it. It was they're just
Ah,
walking and talking, and it's just all over the place the whole time, and
it's the West Wing. Stuff happens.
no, it's not for me.
My wife and I own the box set.
I wish I could. I wish I
Now,
enjoyed it.
now to be fair, it's on VHS tape, people. So it's been a long time since we got it as a gift.
I have not owned a VHS, or I have not owned a VCR in 30 years. I haven't owned a DVD player in 15.
So you're old.
No, that makes me young.
No, it doesn't make you young.
What do you think I'm watching, like Betamax?
No, I think you're probably watching on YouTube.
I stream.
You stream. Look at you. Look at you saying it like it's a cool thing. Like it's a verb. Like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
It's just another channel, dude.
So
Um,
I would love I love prestige TV shows. Breaking Bad. Um,
I've never seen Breaking Bad.
let's talk about that lunch next week.
We will.
Um, Sopranos, The Wire,
Absolutely.
and so I would love to love Mad Men and West Wing because they fit in that mold. They're just not for me.
Mad Men I was okay for me. West Wing I enjoyed, and that's actually I enjoyed, irregardless of political commentary. I'll leave it at that. I enjoyed the show like a medical drama. It just happened to be political, um, and I don't want the comments. Uh, since you are the mayor of Maine,
New England.
how of all New England, right? I forgot. You've moved up. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you drive or fly?
What do you mean? To the National?
Yeah.
I would love to drive to Cleveland. It's about an 11-hour drive, which I had planned on doing because I love road trips.
I thought at one point you were.
I was going to drive. My friend Oliver, who was going to go with me, couldn't commit, and I had to either get a plane ticket or have him commit, and he couldn't commit, so I got a plane ticket. I didn't want to drive all that way by myself. Now
Sure.
next year, so Chicago is a 16-hour. It's in Chicago next year, right?
Yeah. For the
That's
next
a
3 years.
16-hour drive for me. And I might drive with my wife and youngest to Chicago.
You
Take
might as
2
well go to
days.
an IKEA.
What?
IKEA, where marriages go to fight.
Oh no, we love road trips.
Uh,
We've never done 16. Our longest, like straight through drive, which of course we don't do, but our longest straight through drive was like 9 hours to the Canadian side of um, the Niagara Falls.
the big water thing.
Yeah, that thing with the water. Yeah.
All right. Well, for those of you going to Cleveland, make sure you say hi to Mike. Check out his website. Check out his YouTube channel. He's actually much more professional than I am, but he's a friend of mine and comes on and hangs out with me anyway. So I appreciate it. I'm going to land us on time and say thank you for checking in again. And I'll see you in a couple of days, buddy.
All right. Thanks, Danny.
Tell everybody one more time where they can find you.
Junkboxhero.com is my website with my newsletter, and then just search Junkbox Hero here on YouTube.
There we go. All right. To everybody else, see you next time on hobbynewsdaily.com.